Hello everyone. Now, with Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 coming its way in September, unfortunately, there is no 3D Extra Switch port, but I understand why, because at that point in time, you see Mega Man 7 was on Super Nintendo, and then 8 was on the PlayStation 1, and then 9 and 10 were on the Wii. But I guess the control improved over time, and I don't think we'll ever get a Switch port or a Wii U port even. Hopefully a 3DS port eventually, because the first one was great. But the Mega Man series really went downhill, especially after X3. Now, the X games are great, but they had some terrible Robot Masters. And don't get me wrong, the original NES Hexology has a ton of terrible Robot Masters. But what I'm talking about today, we're including both of the game series, and not any of them from like Star Force or Battle Network or any of the ones that weren't released in the US. We're talking about the top 10 worst Mega Man Robot Masters, round 1 of, maybe I'll make another one eventually. But however, we're only including ones from the original Xology, 7, 8, 9, 10, and X. So, let's get in. Okay, so starting up at number 10, we have Tunnel Rhino from Mega Man X3. At number 9, we have Charge Man from Mega Man 5. On legs, and that's it. Also, he gives you probably the worst video game weapon ever. Okay, so basically it's a slide move. You slide people to death. Next we have Grenade Man from Mega Man 8 on the PlayStation 1. Okay, so he is a very ugly color scheme, and, well, he has a grenade cannon for his arm. I mean, like, he looks terrible. Do it! I'm Grenade Man! Best way to describe him. Well, yeah, also, I hate in Mega Man 8 how it shouts the name, like, we can all read it. Plus, the soundtracks have always been good. Wouldn't you want to listen to that? So next, we have Top Man. He originally appeared in Mega Man 3. And, well, he's a top. Maybe you can play a stage around Hanukkah. I mean, like, he just looks terrible, and the attack that gives you is a spin jumping attack, and how are you supposed to hit anything with that? It's not as bad as the charge kick that you get from, well, Charge Man. Yeah, the choo-choo train gives you a terrible weapon. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so next we have Clown Man.
Let's do it! I'm Clown Man.
Capcom, okay, you know what? They decided we're gonna go for an old issue of Nintendo Power. And you know what they did? Well, they thought, okay, you know, we're stupid and we're having trouble designing villains for our next Mega Man game on the PlayStation 1. Oh, what should we do? Oh, let's just reuse ones that people already designed from a contest we held back in the day. So, they held a contest, and, well, Clown Man, yeah, he was designed by Eugene Hahn from New Jersey. So, yeah, I'm positive this was a coincidence. I seem to be the only person that notices this. I've not seen anyone else online notice this. I mean, like, I'm sure that people have. They just haven't publicly spoke about it. But I know the character designs look very, very different. But this one actually looks good. I mean, like, sure, Clown Man, it's not a great concept for Mega Man Robot Master, but I mean, like, that looks presentable. I mean, like, it looks fine for what it is. But no, this just looks terrible, and he sounds like Ralph Wiggum on weed.
I'm Clown Man.
Okay, so next we have Chill Penguin. Chill Penguin. And I never thought our Blue Bomber would hunt a penguin. Yes, he's a penguin robot master. Now, I mean, like, some of the Mega Man robot masters are cool, and penguins are cool. Like, how bad could this be? I mean, like, he's terrible. I mean, like, look. And yes, I said that the Clown Man was not aesthetically presentable. He looks worse than Clown Man, and I'm dead serious. And X, we have Flame Mammoth. Flame Mammoth is a mammoth that shoots flames and looks terrible. Like, okay, now I get that the X bosses are probably the worst. Like, all of them combined. Like, a majority of every single Mega Man X game, so 1 through 8, are all pretty terrible. I mean, like, there are very minimal good ones, and the good ones aren't even that great. But, you know, it's only going to get worse from here.
Vanishing Gunnery!
We have Vanishing Gunnery. Yes, I said that. So he's a kangaroo with a gun that vanishes. Like, do I really have to say anything about this one? And keep in mind, this was a close call.
Optic Sunflower.
X8, the last of the Mega Man X games, which ended on PlayStation 2. Eventually on the original DS, which it was coming out around the same time because the PlayStation 2 came out in 2001 and the original DS came out in 2004, so they were around at the time. They released the Battle Network series, and that was the last that we ever saw of Mega Man, not counting any collections. And I were on the PS2, original Xbox, and GameCube that there was the Mega Man Anniversary Collection, which was just the collection of the classic games, similar to what we have as now is the Legacy Collection and the Legacy Collection 2 that is coming out, which I mentioned earlier. But the number one worst Mega Man Robot Masters, Optic Sunflower. Now, I know I said a lot of these weren't aesthetically presentable, but oh my god, like, okay, first of all, this is unlogical, and I'm gonna have to give an honorable mention to Plant Man, because, you know, Plant Man, you see, he is a plant, and what do plants need? They need water. What can robots not have? Water. It doesn't make sense, but at least he's part robot, part plant. So this optic sunflower, I mean, like it's like a giant anthropomorphic grass thing. Like this is probably the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I'm not kidding. Like what is this? Why is this thing? Who made this? They get fired. Well, they probably did get fired, and well, you see, I'd love to see a comeback of the Mega Man games, and they're very good game series. I mean, like, sure, they can't just keep releasing collections and ports on the Nintendo eShop and other consoles that have their own specific stores, like um, the PlayStation Store. But look, but would you like to see Mega Man come back, or you wouldn't? I mean, like, I'd love to, but I figured they would just go back to making terrible games. But I feel like it may not be their fault that some of the later X games were that terrible. You see, technology is always improving, and I think they wanted to keep up with the time and just make everything better and better. I mean, like, X7 or X8 is definitely the worst games in the series that it has to offer, and it doesn't really know what kind of game it wants to be. Some side scroller, some 3D. It's just kind of a mess. So, what do you think? Should we get Mega Man games, or should we not get Mega Man games? Put your answer below. Join in next time for episode 5